Hi, I'm Evie and welcome to Evie Spotlight. Today we have some special artists for you from a group called P.O.E.T, People of Extraordinary Talent. And we have our president and founder, Black Ice.
How are you doing?
I'm great, how are you?
That's good, I'm fine.
Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having us here today. We look so forward to definitely sharing with you today.
Great. Well, you have some members here with you. Let's introduce the members.
Yes, this is our president of our Joliet chapter, Miss Mocha.
Hi.
Hello.
Thanks for having me.
And this is our chairperson of the Artist Development and one of the Kings of Poetry, Double G.
How you doing?
And this beautiful young lady is one of the Queens of Poetry, P.O.E.T.
Hey, how you
in the building.
All right. Okay.
Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. All right, so let's start by you explaining to us how this group became P.O.E.T.
Well, we don't like to call ourselves a group. We like to call ourselves an organization. It was founded in 1990, as you see on the shirts.
Okay.
And we wanted to definitely do something different with our art and with our talent. So I figured that if we could use the gift that God blessed us with, go into the schools, develop poetry clubs, teach these children how to express themselves through artistic expression rather than picking up a knife or a gun, then we can actually help save some lives and help better the community. And so that's our mission and that's our goal, to save a life, one heart and one mind at a time through this poetry.
Awesome. Now, how long has this group, organization been around?
Like I said, it was founded in 1990. Right now, we're currently over 100 members. We have members in Canada. We have members in Jakarta, Indonesia, Kenya, Africa, and all over the United States. I mean, when I first did this thing, I only thought about the South Side of Chicago. I had no idea that 20 years later, it would be all over the world.
So how do you feel about that?
You know what, I thank God for that. I can't take credit for it. He inspired me with the idea and he sent me some beautiful people, as you see here today, and all of us share the same thinking. All of us share the same spirit and the same goals, and we're out there doing it and making it happen.
All right. So as P.O.E.T, P.O.E.T, People of Extraordinary Talent, what do you have to do to become a member in the organization? What qualifies you to become in the organization?
Well, I'm gonna tell you like Martin Luther King said. Martin Luther King said, you don't need a college degree to serve. All you need is a drive and a desire to serve. We are servants. 80% of what we do is service work. Only 20% is arts and entertainment. And so if you have that type of desire, please get in contact with us. If you're out here in Romeoville or Joliet, we have our president of the Joliet chapter. You can get with her, and what we want to do is repeat the same thing here that we're doing in Chicago. Go into these high schools, develop poetry clubs, go into these faith-based organizations and minister through our form of art.
And that's an awesome thing. Now, as P.O.E.T, P.O.E.T, how often do you go out to the schools and...
We have some schools that we actually mentor at weekly.
Okay.
And we're currently working on the P.O.E.T Teen Idol. And that's a form of the American Idol. That's going to be held April the 17th at the Redemption Theater in Blue Island, located on 129th and Western. And it's a all citywide high school competition with the poets from those high schools. And so we're going to be crowning the 2011 P.O.E.T Teen Idol. And we're inviting all of you all out to support that.
Wow, that's awesome. Okay, so let's hear from some of your members here. Mocha?
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great, how are you?
I'm great. So let's hear how you got started.
I've actually been writing poetry itself since I was probably about 12 or 13 years old, but I've been serving since approximately about 2004. Is when I've taken my craft and start using it to benefit others.
Okay.
I've been a member with P.O.E.T actually for just about 2 months now.
Okay. So how do you feel about being in the organization?
Oh, awesome, awesome. When I first attended a Strictly for the Listeners poetry set, that was just my goal, to come strictly for a set. But the magnitude of the experience made me definitely want to become a member. P.O.E.T is much more than poetry, as Black Ice has said. For me personally, P.O.E.T has inspired me to look outside of myself and to do more and to reflect, to self-reflect and make me say, okay, are you doing enough? If you're not, what more can you do? And what avenues can you take to make things happen?
Awesome. Yeah. All right. So Double G.
That's Evie.
How are you today?
I'm doing wonderful.
Miracle.
So how did you get started into actually doing spoken word, which into P.O.E.T, the organization P.O.E.T?
I'm 32 now. I started writing when I was 12, and that actually carried over into when I progressed into going to open mic sets and shows, and that's where I first met Black. And we've been doing this every week, week in, week out, and have been just changing lives pretty much since we've started doing this. And we've always had crowd appeal, but we needed to focus on a purpose, and that's what P.O.E.T is doing. We're given these talents for a reason, and that's why I'm completely 110% on board with everything that P.O.E.T is doing. You know, I'm a spiritual poet, and the gospel says that when everyone's on one accord, that's when things happen.
That's right.
So with all of us being on one accord, that's how we are able to make things happen. And I just love every aspect of this art form and of P.O.E.T. It's just amazing.
Awesome. Did you ever think it would be this big for you?
I was always hoping, but again, I gotta thank Black for the vision.
All right. Absolutely. Okay, so P.me. Hey girl. Hey. Tell us how you got started.
I've been, as they have said, I've been writing for a while, a long time, since gosh, 8th grade. It has always been an avenue for me to get my point across. I express my feelings, you know. But it wasn't until later on in my adult life that I had a friend who has passed on, LA, who introduced me. She knew how much I loved to write. She introduced me to the stage. She got together her own set, first one, and forced me to get on the stage. And later on, after that, I got addicted to the mic, you know. A funny story about meeting Black Ice and becoming a part of P.O.E.T, I met him through my aunt. They were at a beauty shop, a shop that she usually doesn't even go to. And took my great aunt there and met Black Ice, and she called me. She was all excited, you know, I met somebody who can help you with your poetry, you know. And ever since then, I met that man, talked to him on the phone. They have been my extended family ever since P.O.E.T. I have really grown, you know, with my spoken word, with my poetry, period, through them. I love them all. Black Ice, my whole P.O.E.T family. I'm really happy to be a part of them.
Okay, awesome. So Black Ice, how did you get the name Black Ice? I've always wondered that.
Well, you know what, it's a story. It really came from a negative connotation. There was a coworker of mine, and at the time, you know, back in the days, I was rapping. My name was Ice Cold, and so people have always called me Ice, you know, for about 24 years now. And so she came to work one day, and she said something, you know, that was a little bit negative and a little bit profane. And she said, "What's up, Black blank Ice?" And I was like, "Wow, that's nice. That's a good idea. I appreciate that." And so I adopted the name from that point. That was over about 12 years ago. And noticing that there was another, down the line, that there was another poet from New Jersey named Black Ice. Down the line, what I ended up doing was changing the spelling from B-L-A-C-K to B-L-A-Q. And so it has become a very profound meaning for me, B-L-A-Q. Believing in the Lord, asking questions.
Wow.
You know, what I do, people call it spoken word, but I call it life art.